with the sun going round and round my head.
Alrighty, welcome everybody. Welcome to our call today. I'm excited. Literally just finished a workout and got right on this call, so I'm excited to be here with you guys. And it's awesome to see everyone. Welcome Max, Tui, Chris, Paul, Barbara, Marcos. Welcome to our call today, and everybody that's viewing this, whether on Facebook or YouTube or any of the other platforms. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hidge. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Divinfi, and I get the honor to share this information with you all. And if you're as hyped up as I am, give me some energy in the chat. Give me a 111. We got some awesome stuff happening here at Divinfi. The entire team is moving here to the Philippines. We were in Dubai, but we're going to be here because it's going to be a more central location for the next couple of months. We got a nice mansion out here. It's going to be awesome to have the whole crew together, and that way we're in a more central location to some of the teams like in Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, and whatnot. And we got some awesome stuff happening. And yeah, just here to share this gift that is Divine Fi. And so without a further ado, I'm going to get into tonight's presentation and just share what we have going on here. If this is your first time seeing this info, what I want you to know is that information is really the catalyst to changing situations. But the information is only as good as the decision that you make. And so at the end of this call, you're going to have a decision to make, whether you're all in with our mission or whether you're all out. And just make sure that that is something that you are willing to do, right? Like you have to commit to something, and commitment is really like the lifeblood of whatever it is that you're going to do, right? If you're in a marriage, you need to be fully committed. If you're going to be in a business or in a part of a movement, you need to be fully committed to that movement, or else it's just going to be half-ass, right? One of my mentors a long time ago, he said, Sam, your business, if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And so, like I said, whatever it is that you're going to do, just be all in, right? There's no use in even being or doing anything unless you're 100% all in on that mission. And just make sure that you're aligned, right? It's all about aligning with something, a cause greater than yourself. So let's see. I was wondering why you're in the same time zone as Canada. Yeah, so right now it is 9:10 a.m. So it's probably like what, 9? What time is it, Paul, over there?
9:10 p.m.
Oh, okay, yeah, we're 12 hours
We're
ahead.
12 hours apart.
Well, I'm glad that it's actually kind of aligning a little bit better. So everyone, it's kind of not too late, too early. So let's get into tonight's call. So I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. And so what is Divinfi, and what is our mission? Our mission is to create an ecosystem that brings freedom to all 8 billion people here on Earth. And what does freedom mean exactly? We have 4 pillars when it comes to freedom. There's financial, location, time, and then emotional freedom. And I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years. My first start in the space was I was doing car exporting. So I was 18 at the time. I got introduced to some people, and you probably heard me say this before, but it doesn't really matter about what you know. It is more important about who you know. And it's very apparent because you wouldn't be on this call if there wasn't someone that you knew that shared this info with you. So it's far more important about who you know and the connections that you have and your network, right? They say that your net worth is equal to your network. Okay, so I got introduced to some people, and at the age of 18, I earned my first 6-figure income by buying and selling cars. So what I would do is I would travel all around the US, and I would buy different cars, and I would send them to my buyers in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, in the Dominican Republic, and different countries in Africa, and so on and so forth. And so I had a pretty good start. And so I didn't really ever think about being like a doctor or an astronaut or a lawyer. I was never that kid. I just wanted to be free, and I didn't really know what that meant. Okay, maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, but I just wanted to be free. And I thought financial freedom was the end all be all, but I learned very quickly that that wasn't true because I was working 80 hours a week. I was losing my health. And so I realized that that wasn't it. Like it was a part of it, but it wasn't everything. And then a couple of years after getting out of the car exporting business, I got introduced to a gentleman, and he was only a couple years older. I'm talking maybe 21, 22, somewhere around that age range. And he was flying all over the world. He was flying in private jets. He was making money online. He had 3 supercars, which, that impressed me at the time. Not so much now, but at that time, I was like, yeah, like that's pretty awesome. Like I want that. And so, I asked him how he did it, and he showed me, and he started to mentor me and show me the way, right? And I heard this a while ago that if you take the advice of somebody, you'll get what they have. So if someone has a lifestyle that you want, emulate them, and you'll get that exact same lifestyle or those exact same results, right? Like if someone has a happy marriage or relationship, if you take their advice on how to have a happy relationship or marriage, most likely you'll have that same thing, right? I'm not going to ask someone that's been divorced 70 times, although there might be some wisdom there, right? There might be some wisdom there because you learn a lot from quote unquote failures, but you probably want to ask someone that actually has had a marriage that lasted 40, 50 years. That's just kind of how it goes. If you want to have a business that is paying them passively, they're able to travel the world, if you ask them for their advice, you'll probably get their same results. And so I got introduced to the industry of network marketing, and that changed my life forever. It later led me to different paths. I got into affiliate marketing, got a direct sales, e-commerce, trading, coaching, rental arbitrage, the real estate industry, and I've been able to earn millions and millions of dollars for myself personally. And I've helped a lot of people, dozens and dozens of people earn upwards of 6 figures a year. And so I realized that that was also not all of what I wanted. Even though I was able to travel to 25 different countries, basically make money wherever I was in the world. I haven't had a job in 12 years, basically like financially, location, and time freedom. I had all of those things. I had those 3 pillars, but there was still something that was missing. And so I realized that there was something missing at the second half of 2023. In June 2023, I was married at the time, and we decided we wanted to just go on like a little tour of like Asia and Southeast Asia. And so we packed up our bags, we put the rest of our stuff in some of our properties, and we just decided to let it, we had our business take care of everything. So ended up going to Asia, went to Japan, Thailand, went to Malaysia, Indonesia, like all over. And so at the time, I maybe worked 6 hours the entire like 6, 7 months that we were traveling. So I was like basically able to do whatever I wanted, which was awesome. But it really started to dawn on me that I wasn't really fulfilled and there was something missing because I was waking up and I was experiencing massive anxiety, depression, and crazy, horrible panic attacks, which I never experienced. I didn't know what that felt like, where I was waking up and I was having like I wasn't able to breathe. Like it was terrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And so it got so bad that I remember contemplating suicide, jumping off of the 48th floor of my penthouse in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And so it got pretty bad, it was just I didn't really understand what was happening. But now looking backwards, I obviously do. But I knew that things needed to change and that there was still something missing. And I'm a big believer, and I know as humans, we're motivated by two things. It's either inspiration, and you want to be, you're either motivated by being doing something bigger than yourself, inspiring other humans, being a part of a movement to just do and be the most expanded version of yourself, or desperation, where you're literally backed up in a corner and you have no choice but to move forward. And that's what I was motivated by at the time. I was way too comfortable. So I had to hit rock bottom for me to really start to take different actions. And so it didn't stop there. I actually ended up going through a divorce at the time, to a woman that I was married to for 4 years. And then after that, I ended up getting myself put in jail in Bali, Indonesia. And I know that I manifested that because at the time, I was heavily addicted to smoking marijuana. I did it for 12 years every single day. It was very much an addiction. If you asked me back then, I wouldn't have thought it was an addiction, right? I would have been like, no, it helps me. It's a plant, but I know for a fact that I was addicted because I couldn't go. I mean, there were periods of time where I would stop, but pretty much for 12 years. And I told myself I wanted to stop. And what ended up happening was I took some with me on an international flight from Thailand, where it was legal, to Bali, which was highly illegal, and got myself locked up in a jail for 6 days, and then rehab center for 17 days, because that was the only way they could get me out. If not, they would have given me either 4 to 12 years in jail, or basically the death sentence. So it was a really big wake-up call. And the only way to get out actually was to pay them $50,000 US, right? And so it was an interesting time in my life, but looking back at it, it was the very best thing that could have ever happened to me. It was literally the very best thing that could have ever happened to me, because after getting out of that situation, my buddy Jamie, which you guys might know, he's the CEO of this ecosystem. He calls me and he's like, "Hey, you should come to the Philippines and meet Don." So I met Don and I met Jamie online. I met Jamie first through Facebook. We were mutual friends. We had been like sidelines in another company before. I knew of him, but never met him in person. And I knew Don through Jamie. And so I met Don on Zoom. But then I've traveled to the Philippines in Davao City in January. Actually got to the Philippines January 1st, 2024. Met Don. Man, it feels so long ago. We're only in July. Holy moly. It feels like it's been like years, but it's only been like literally like 7 months. So I met Don in person, and what I experienced was beyond anything that I could ever fathom, right? Like, I have been a personal development junkie, right? Like, my friend Marcos, he's on the call. Him and I have been a part of many different businesses and opportunities. And he knew me. I was always reading books, listening to audiobooks. He actually introduced me to this transformational program that was pretty good, but it was also very limiting, right? And I had done, I got certified with the late Bob Proctor, which a lot of you know. I did energy work and psilocybin and DMT, I did basically everything that you could think of when it came to quote unquote personal development, but none of it even came close to this process, this transformational program that Don had created over the last 44 years. So Don, his clients, they were some of the elite of the elite. I'm talking athletes at the Olympic level in 15 different sports. I'm talking multi-billionaires. I'm talking the guys that created the BlackBerry. So these were his clients. Okay, and some of them have paid him over $1 million just to do a session with Don. And this process only takes 2 hours. So you're talking about, $1 million divided by 2 hours, that's $500,000 an hour. These are some of his clients. Okay, so Don's process is absolutely next level, and I cannot put that into words because it's something you just have to experience. And so when I did this process with Don, Everything I was experiencing, the anxiety, the depression, the panic attack, the suicidal thoughts, all my addictions. I was addicted to marijuana and sex and travel and money and people pleasing and validation. All of these things completely gone within a 2-hour session. And some of you have experienced this yourself. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The level of freedom internally that you receive after you do Dawn's program. So to give you a little bit more insight, there's this chart right here. It was created by a guy named Dr. Hawkins, and Dr. Hawkins wrote a book called Power versus Force, which is absolutely amazing. I actually read this book over 10 years ago, and it didn't really make as much sense as it does now. You know, it's like one of those things where you can know it. You can know something, but you're not actually an embodiment of it, right? And that's what they say. They say, so, like, I heard one of my mentors say this, is that to do and not to know is not to know. Or to know and not to do, I'm sorry, to know and not to do is not to know, but I'll say it in a different way. To know and not to embody is not to know. To not have it embodied is not true knowing. You have to have, number one, the embodiment of that thing, and then the results as well to actually have the quote unquote knowing. So in this chart, it talks about all of the emotions that we experience, because we are not our emotions, we just simply experience them. And you can take a look at your own life. You're constantly shifting emotions, right? Maybe one day you're feeling shame, maybe the other day you're feeling courageous. Okay, and well, the consciousness chart says that every single emotion is on a level of consciousness. So it goes from 0 and it goes all the way to 1,000. So shame is at the very bottom, which is a 20. Fear is 100. Courage is 200. Joy is 540. And then enlightenment is a 700 to a 1,000. And so for reference, Hitler, who massacred millions and millions of people, did atrocities, he was operating at a level 50. Okay. And so there's a universal law, right? It's called the law of correspondence. It's very similar to the law of gravity, right? No matter how much you want to believe whether there are universal laws or not, it's similar to the law of gravity. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. It operates regardless of your belief. So I have this little bag right here. If I drop it, it's going to fall down every single time. Law of gravity does not care about your belief. Similar to the laws of the universe, the laws of the universe operate regardless if we believe in them or not. And so the law of correspondence states, as within, so without. As above, so below. So what is that saying? It's saying that our internal worlds reflect our external. So the results that you're getting in your life are simply just a manifestation of what is going on the inside. So if you want to change your results, you need to change your internal world. So, you know, Hitler, the reason why he did the things that he did is because of the level of consciousness that he was operating on. Look at what it says, a description of apathy, despair, and hopelessness. The people that he was victimizing and abusing, they were feeling despair and hopelessness. And that was a projection of what he was experiencing. And, you know, they say that hurt people hurt people. That's because whatever you're experiencing, you are now projecting and manifesting on the outside world. Okay, so, and it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, karma always comes back. Whatever you put out, you get back. So he definitely got back what he put out. So the highest level, which is 1,000, this is where all the masters, all the great teachers were at. So whenever you think about Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Moses, Krishna, Zoroaster, all of these great teachers, they were at a level 1,000. What they were preaching and what they were trying to tell us was that there was no difference between us and them, that our natural state is one of enlightenment. That is your natural state. If you're watching this, Your natural state is one of enlightenment. And as you can tell, we like our pinks and purples. And the reason why we do a lot of pinks and purples here at Divinfi is because these are the highest levels of consciousness. So to give you a little bit more insight, 80% of the world's population today, 80% is under this line right here, which is 210. And so I would say even probably 80% of those 80% are probably operating under or around the level of fear. Constantly in anxiety and fear of losing their job, their loved ones, their whatever it is, losing their life. But we're eternal beings, right? The body is just a vehicle. It's similar to your car. You don't get into your car and like, oh, like I am my car. You think I am driving my car. Similarly, your body is your vehicle in this life. And so we are eternal when you look at the deepest core of who we are. And so what Don does is he helps you get rid of the very first moment, the very first trauma that you've ever experienced in your life, because before the age of 7, there is a single moment that has shocked your nervous system, that has you playing small, that has you in a sabotage victim mentality, in a poverty consciousness. So it could simply be, it doesn't necessarily have to be abuse, which I never really shared this too much, but I went through a very, very abusive childhood. But it doesn't have to be that way. It can simply just be you riding on your bike and falling. It can simply just be you being in the room and then you hear your mom and your dad arguing or screaming at each other. It can simply be that. So what Don does is he helps you go to the very first moment, helps you release it, whether you're conscious of it or not. And that's kind of like an energetic anchor. That's how I like to describe it. So imagine being at the very bottom of the ocean, okay, the very bottom of the ocean, and you have an anchor tied to you. And so you're trying to swim up to the top of the ocean, which is enlightenment. But every time you get up to, let's say, 30%, this anchor brings you all the way back down. It just keeps on bringing you back down. No matter what you try to do, no matter how hard you try, you continue to get brought down by this anchor. So this very first moment in time is like an energetic anchor. So you can, through Don's process, you can let go of that anchor. You can get rid of it, and you just now start to float to your natural state of enlightenment. Very, very simple. It's so powerful. I highly suggest every single person that is on here, do it. And we have two aspects to this ecosystem. There's a consciousness side, and then there is the currency side. So the reason why I stress the consciousness side is you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the consciousness, you're going to create this hell, which I was living in for a long time. Which there's a story I would like to share with you. One of Don's clients name is Tim. He was a multi-billionaire. And so Tim had everything that we think that we want. He had the billions of dollars. He had the private jet. He had all these things, right? Material things. But he was suffering from major, major anxiety. And he was addicted to 5 things. He was addicted to food, alcohol, drugs, sex, and gambling. He was going through a divorce. So he had all of this going on. He had so much anxiety that he couldn't even fly on his own private jet. So he got sick of it. And what he did is he got Don's number from one of his colleagues, and he ended up paying Don $1 million to do this 2-hour session with him. So Don does this 2-hour session with him. Within these 2 hours, everything that he was experiencing is completely gone. Everything. The divorce is no longer the table. He could finally fly in his private jet. He could build his company. Like, he became free. So the money without the consciousness, you're still living in the hell. And then if you really want to affect the world in a positive way, you can have this high level of consciousness, but you also need the money. So we created this system to help you have true freedom with both the consciousness and the currency. So let's talk about the currency side of things. But before I do, Dawn's program is every Tuesday and every single Thursday. So Tuesdays are for new clients and Thursdays are for existing clients. Make sure to attend. If you've not gone through it, go to tomorrow's session. And if you have already gone through, make sure to go to Thursday's session. And so let's talk about the currency side of things. Today, in today's day and age, AI is a huge thing. And people trust AI so much nowadays that they're willing to let go of the steering wheel of their Tesla. And they trust it to take them to and from work or to the market and back. Right? So it's time for you to trust AI enough that you're willing to allow it to grow your money hands-free. So that's exactly what this product is. It's called AI Apollo, or Apollo with an AI at the front. And so what it is an AI that gets better and better over time. It uses deep learning technology. So it just gets smarter over time after it gets more and more information from the markets. You simply API it into your crypto wallet. And so we're using 3 exchanges right now: Binance, Bybit, and Kraken. And so you can have complete control of your funds, and you just API it into the wallet so it can trade your money, it can see the money, but you have full control at all times. No one but you can withdraw the money, so you can feel safe in having your money being traded. There's no one, you don't have to send it to a company. You don't have to have someone manage your account or anything like that. It's simply just an API. It's just a simple connection, and it's growing your account 20 to 50% hands-free. This is the range that we've seen it do. And the minimum deposit to use Apollo is 1,000 USD. At first, when we met the developer in Dubai at the Crypto Expo, he was saying that the minimum was $100,000. So it'd be $100,000 to use Apollo. But we said, hey, we want to use this for our community. Can you get that down? So he's like, okay, $10,000. We're like, that's still too high. So we got it down to 1,000. But the caveat is it's a 50-50 split. So let's say you have $1,000 in your account. It does 20% in the month. You get 100%. Or I mean, you get $100. He gets $100. If you have $1,000, it's meaning 50%. You get 25%. He gets 25%. So you would get $250. He would get $250. Very simple. So this is not to say that you can't do less than 20% because there is no guarantees when it comes to investing. And this is not to say that you can't do more than 51%. In fact, this month, Apollo did 51% completely hands-free. Okay, so, investing always has a risk, but I believe that we have the very best AI that we've seen so far. We are in the works to creating our own AI. So there's a possibility that we'll have something even better. But for now, this is the best one that we've seen to date. So let's talk about compound interest. This guy, Albert Einstein, obviously a very smart guy. He knew what he was talking about. He says that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So we'll talk about the power of compounding here in just a moment. I'm going to share with you guys this compounding calculator on how you can compound your money. And what I want you to do is really treat Apollo as like your savings account on steroids. Okay, your savings account on steroids. The reason why is because nowadays, if you are in whatever country, actually, it doesn't really matter. If you're in Singapore, if you're in Japan, if you're in Brazil or Canada or America or Europe, it does not matter. The monetary system is literally failing us. There's hyperinflation on the rise. For the US dollar alone is actually losing about 1% due to inflation every single month. So after a year, you're losing about 12% of the value of your money. So having your money in a savings account was probably one of the worst things that you can do today. And I'm not even talking about the Argentinas or the whatever, all these other countries that are experiencing massive, massive inflation. I'm talking about the world superpower, the USA, is losing 1%. in purchasing power every single month. And every other country is actually pegged to the US dollar. So you're definitely seeing it. You know, if you go to the grocery store and you try to buy groceries, you're actually able to spend minimum like by 12% less groceries today than you did a year ago. So it's not that the groceries are going up, it's that the currency is being devalued. Okay, so let me show you how you can use Apollo as your savings account on steroids. And just to clarify, you can withdraw the money at any time. You're in complete control. But let's say you wanted to compound your money. Okay, I'm going to show you something. So if you invested $1,000 as the initial investment, and it was doing, let's say, 10% a month, because the range is about 20% to 50% a month. The average that we've seen is about 28% monthly. If you add up all of the years over the last few years, it's been about 28%. But let's just say 10%. Let's say 10% a month, and you compounded it for 5 years. Let me show you what that would look like. Oh, wait, 1 second. Sorry. So 1,000, 1,000, 10%. What does it do that? Okay, for 5 years. So $1,000. What the heck? Okay. Oh, wait, that's yearly, not monthly. Might be. Okay, so $1,000 initial balance. For it to go from 1,000 to 2x your investment from 1,000 to 2,000, it would take you 8 months. Okay. After 5 years, you would have $304,481.64. And I'm not saying this is a for sure, but this is just to show you the power of compounding. Okay, so just a simple explanation. So $1,000 starting after 1 year, you would have 3,183. Now, second year, you go from 3,183 to 9,489. Year 3, you go from $9,849.73 to 30,912. Year 4, you have $97,017.23, and then year 5, $304,481.64. Let me show you the monthly as well. This will make a lot more sense. So $1,000 after 1 month, you'd earn about $100 in interest. So you now have 1,100. After month 2, you'd go from 1,100, you'd have 1,210. Month 3, 1,331. Month 4, 1,464. So as you can tell, because you're allowing it to compound, it's just going to get larger and larger and larger month after month after month. And by month 8, you'd have over $2,000. By the end of the year, you'd have $3,138. And this is this is if you're not withdrawing any money, but this is how I would actually think about it. Because you're going to be saving money anyways, instead of having it in your savings account, which is literally losing value, you can have this build up, and you can think about it as any way as you want. Maybe it's a safety net. Maybe this is money that you can share and give to your children. However you want to look at it, just think about it as you're compounding your money and you're combating inflation. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. This guy right here, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. He's read a couple of books, but we'll talk about the cash flow quadrant. So in the cash flow quadrant, he talks about there's 4 ways to earn income. The first way is being an employee. So you have the JOB, which stands for just over broke. I remember 12 years ago when I was working a job, I was working paycheck to paycheck, barely had enough money at the end of the month. I actually had a lot more month at the end of the money, right? And so the thing is I always had residual bills that came in month after month, month after month. And I knew that I had to find a way to create residual income. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But as an employee, you're trading your time for money. You work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Very simple. So let's say you're working at a smoothie shop, you work 8 hours, 9 to 5, you get paid for those 8 hours. Now let's say one day you're like, hey, you know what? I want to open up a smoothie store. So you go from being an employee to becoming self-employed. So you open up your smoothie shop, you have 3, 4 employees or whatever. You might have a little bit more independence, but you are still getting paid off of your time and your efforts because you cannot just take time off and still keep growing your business and keep getting paid. Okay, so this side of the quadrant, the left side, is where 95% of the world is operating from. And then this side is where 5% of the world is operating from. This is where the financially free people are. And the goal, if you want to be financially free, is to shift from the left side to the right side. So let's say you're a business owner. As a business owner, you're leveraging other people's time and efforts. You're leveraging a system. And system is an acronym that stands for save yourself some time, energy, money. Save yourself some time, energy, and money. Okay, so as a business owner, you can think of it like this. We all know McDonald's, right? So McDonald's, if you want to open up a franchise, you would pay them a $1.2 million franchise fee, and you would have the rights to a McDonald's. Okay. And so there's a whole system for McDonald's, which is why you see 16, 17-year-old kids, they're able to run the entire McDonald's, and then your business is now cash flowing you whether or not you're there. You just simply put the systems in place, you hire the employees, and it just runs on its own. Okay. Ray Kroc, the guy that actually bought McDonald's from the McDonald's brothers, he says, we don't get paid making burgers and fries. We get paid selling real estate. And that's exactly how McDonald's makes their money. They sell the real estate and the franchise rights to other people. And that is how they're a multi-billion dollar corporation. So another way you could think about this is Elon Musk. So I was just watching his podcast with Joe Rogan. And, obviously this guy is doing really big things when it comes to business with SpaceX and Tesla and all these different companies and stuff that he's creating. And so he gets paid off of creating systems. And so let's say he has 10,000 employees, and each one of those employees work 8 hours a day for him. So 10,000 hours, 10,000 employees times 8 hours a day equals out to be 80,000 man hours that he's leveraging every single day. So he gets paid off of leverage. And if you're a business owner, you're getting paid off of leverage. Now, if you're an investor, you're getting paid off of leverage as well, but you're not leveraging other people's time and efforts. You're leveraging your money. You're having your money work for you, which we showed you how you can use Apollo for a minimum investment of $1,000, which is really something else, because I remember 7-8 years ago, one of my mentors, he runs a hedge fund in Singapore. I asked him to teach me how to invest in the Forex markets. And he said, hey, if you want to invest, you need a minimum of $100,000 that you're willing to lose. And so I said, oh my God, okay, well, I got to get to work. And so instead of having to invest $100,000 that you're willing to lose, you can get started nowadays with technology utilizing our system for a minimum of $1,000. So let's get into how you can get started with us. If you want to use Don's price list transformation, and if you want to use Apollo to grow your money hands-free, we have one package. It's called the Freedom Pack. It's $149 startup, and then it's $99 per month. After you get these amazing results, what you do is you simply just share it. And whenever you refer 3 people to purchase the membership as well, you get your membership completely free. Okay, awesome. Now, let's say you want to build a business. We actually have a very lucrative partnership program, and it's in the field of network marketing. Network marketing is one of the biggest industries there are today. It actually generates over $200 billion worldwide, probably more now. That was a statistic that I heard like 5 years ago. So it's probably closer to half a trillion at this point. But what network marketing is instead of paying the traditional ways of advertising using billboards, commercials, advertisements in the newspaper, what we do is we pay people like you and I to spread this message, to spread this opportunity via word of mouth. Okay, that's simply what it is. And so there's an infinite income potential that we offer here. So you can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way up to $4 million every single month. Okay. Secondly, you can create a weekly residual income, meaning you can essentially do the work one time and you can get paid over and over and over and over again. Imagine being on the beach, being with your family, being at the gym, whatever, doing whatever you want to do, whatever your heart's mission is, and still getting paid week after week, week after week, month after month, month after month. So, what is residual income? It's essentially doing the work one time, getting paid forever, or many, many times. So you can take the traditional model of real estate. Let's say you bought a house in the US. Let's say it's 250,000 for the house. Your mortgage is $1,500. You rent it out to somebody for 2,000. You're earning $500 in residual income every single month. Very simple. So it take you $250,000 to make $500 in residual income. And people are doing this all day, every day. So this is how powerful residual income is. People will leverage $250,000 just to create $500 a month in residual income. So I'll show you how you can do it, but without having to leverage $250,000. Now, the third thing is that there are no qualifications or experience needed. You don't have to graduate at the top of your class. You don't have to have a crazy, amazing resume. You could have dropped out of high school or college. In fact, I dropped out of college my second year. And you didn't have to go to the best schools, right? You could have went to Yale and you could have went to jail. And I've been to jail. And so I at least share that with you guys to just let you know that if I could do it, then you can. It doesn't matter what your past was. And so, yeah, we have an opportunity for everyone, whether you have a PhD or whether you have a felony. It doesn't really matter. And the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself here, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole community, you have a system to leverage, and you can really go however far you want. You have a whole ecosystem that's here to support you in accomplishing what it is you want to accomplish. And so let's get into the rank rewards and the compensation plan. So there's a couple of things you have to know. So there's a couple of qualifications. So the first thing is that there's a rank name. This would be like your corporate role. Then the network size, which is the size of your total network, which if you look at any business owner is creating a network of clients. That's the only way they get paid. So your family doctor, let's say, has 100 patients. They see him every 2 to 3 months. He gets paid off of creating a network. A fitness coach, same thing. He has 100 clients. He gets paid off of creating a network of clients. Now, the next qualification is called the personal referral. So this is the people that you personally refer to the system. Okay. And then there is 3 ways you get paid. Initially, there's a 4th way, which I'll talk about later. 1 second, let me get some water. So the first way is the weekly payout. So you get paid every single Friday. Well, I'm sorry, actually, it's starting Mondays now. So you'll actually be able to request a payout every Monday. And so you get paid once a week. And so that would be your residual income. And then there's a one-time rank bonus. This is paid out once a month. And then there's the direct bonuses, which is paid out every week as well. So you would initially, it was $50 per membership, but just for now, until we're done with pre-launch, you will get $100 per membership. So maybe the next 4 to 6 weeks, it could be faster, it could be slower. But until we're done and we launch our new back office and our whole new system, we're doubling up the bonus. And so let's get into how you can create an income here by just referring and making some connections. And so at the rank of inviter, to hit inviter, you need a total of 3 customers in your network. So you're building teams. So you have your left team and your right team. So you need 2 on your left team, 1 on your right team, or vice versa. 2 on your right, 1 on your left. Doesn't really matter. And out of these 3, you need to personally refer 2. So 1 on your left, 1 on your right. So let's say you got your mom and your dad into the ecosystem, and your dad goes and refers his brother. You have 3 total. You're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. And then let's say you did this in your first month. You're getting paid $100 for your mom, $100 for your dad, plus $100 for the weekly payouts, because 25 times 4. So that's $300 that you earned in your first month. Awesome. Now connector 200, all the way to connector 900, you only need 2 personal referrals. So it doesn't matter. You could start with your mom and your dad all the way down to connector 900. At connector 200, you only need 4 on your left, 4 on your right, and you're getting paid $50 a week, which is $200 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $200 one time. Connector 500, same thing, 10 on your left, 10 on your right. You're getting paid $125 a week, which is $500 a month. And remember, it would take you $250,000 just to earn a $500 residual income every single month in real estate. And I'm in the real estate industry, actually. And trust me, it's not as easy as you think. It's a lot more difficult. There's a lot more overhead, and just making sure that you're paying your employees and systems and all this stuff. You don't have to do all that. You can literally just refer 2 people and teach them how to do the same thing, and they teach their people how to do the same thing. And now you're getting paid $500 a month in residual income. Now, the cool thing is you get a one-time rank bonus. So if you take your 125 times 4, which is 500, plus a $500 rank bonus, you have $1,000. You can take that money and invest into Apollo and have the AI start to make you some passive income. So you're getting paid passive income off of Apollo, and then you're earning residual income off of the pay plan. Awesome. Connector 900, 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You only brought 2 out of the 40, so that's what, 2% of the work. You're getting paid $225 a week, which is $900 a month, and you get a one-time rank bonus of $900. Awesome. Connector 1500, you're getting paid 40 on your right. I'm sorry. So to hit connector 1500, you need 40 on your left, 40 on your right. Out of those 80 total, you only need to bring 2 on your left, 2 on your right. So 4. So I went from 2 to 4. I've personally brought in like 23 people, so it's not that difficult whenever you really know where we're headed. And so you just share this with other people, and then when they get in, they can do the same thing. You're just teaching them what you did. And so 2 on your left, 2 on your right. Let's say it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. That's 4 total. Out of those 4, you now have 40 on your left, 40 on your right. You're getting paid $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $1,500 one time. Awesome. So moving forward, networker 3K, 75 on your left, 75 on your right. Same 2 on your left, same 2 on your right. You're getting paid $750 a week, which is $3,000 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $3,000. Awesome. Cool. Same thing, networker 5K. It just continues to multiply. So you can go part-time here where you're earning $500 a month. You can go full-time where you're earning $9,000 a month, or you can go big time where you're earning $25, $50, $100,000 every single month. So just to give you some clarification, there is a 4th way you can actually earn income, and it starts at speaker 25K and beyond. So we have something called the global pool bonus. And so at the global pool bonus, what we do is we take 1% of all of the sales globally, and we put it into a pool. Okay, so this pool is divided by the number of shares that there are in the company. Or I should say the ecosystem, because it's not a company. And so let's say there's 10 shares and there's $1 million in the pool. 10 divided by a million is $100,000 per share. you'll earn an extra 100,000 on top of the 25,000 that you're making every single month. So you're making an extra $100,000 a month. Awesome. And then there's a second share that gets distributed at max 750K and beyond. So you would get 100,000 times 2 shares equals $200,000 a share on top of the 750,000 million, $4 million every single month they're already earning. So this is for the people that want to go big time. But maybe you're like, dude, I don't even know if I could do this. Let me just share a story with you, an example of how I know you can do this. So I had this girl, her name was Tiffany. She joined one of my opportunities 8 years ago, and it was nowhere near as amazing as this. We were literally selling blueberry juice in a glass bottle. That's what it was. There was like 3 products, like blueberry juice, some fish oil, some noni juice. That's literally the products. Like you can go to Costco and you can get the same stuff for way cheaper. And it was about 600 something dollars before tax. I think it was like 650 after tax to get started on one of the packages. And then there was another package where it was $1,300. Okay, so Tiffany was her name, and she was earning about 2,000 or less as a waitress in this company. And so, oh, Marcos knows exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, so Tiffany was working as a waitress, making like 2K a month, and she joined me, but she's like, "Yo, I'm actually very introverted, so I don't know if I can do this." And I said, "Look, all you have to do is make the invitation to the presentation, get the most butts in the seats, and you'll get paid the most. That's literally as simple as that." So all she did was invite people to our local Starbucks meetings and Zoom, which wasn't that popular, so we didn't realize how powerful it was. So we were literally just building locally in our local networks. And sometimes we would do like, the Skype calls or the three-way calls or whatever. So it wasn't as accessible as it is today. I mean, just I mean, side note, but like literally we're in 18 different countries and it's been like a little bit over a month in our launch. So Tiffany, what she did back then was she just invited people to the presentations. And after 3 months, she went from earning $2,000 a month or less to earning over $15,000 every single month. Her mom was working at a warehouse. She was earning over $10,000 a month after 3 months. Her uncle, same thing. He was working at Chase Bank, could barely speak English because he came from Vietnam a couple of years before that, or a couple of months actually. And he was earning over $10,000 a month. So I share that to share with you that if you are watching this call, if they could do it, you can 1000% do it. There's only a couple of qualifications you need. It's being coachable and then taking action on the information that you're receiving. Okay, so you are at the very beginning of this. So if you're watching this, you're at the best time to get started, because when it comes to business, it's always about timing, timing, timing. If you took, all the money, if let's say you bought every single iPhone since the beginning of Apple's launch, that would be about $20,000. You took that same 20,000 and you invested it at the very beginning of Apple's launch, you would have over $200 million. The reason why is because you invested at the right time with the right people. Okay, so that is exactly the same level of opportunity that you have here with Divinfi. You're at the very best time to be a part of this movement. I know it's not even a belief at this level. It's a knowing that we're going to be a multi-trillion-dollar company. So if you align with us, I just want you to know that Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. If you're ready, get back to the person that invited you. All you're going to do is you're going to ask them for their unique link, and that way they get the credit for inviting you here. And so I look forward to working with you and locking arms on this mission to help raise humanity's consciousness and bringing freedom to the world. And with that being said, I'm going to share two promotions that we have currently. We're giving away some awesome prizes. So one moment. All right, cool. So if you come into the system and you bring 10 directs, meaning you bring 10 people directly into the system before August the 18th, we're going to give you a brand new GoPro. If you do 20 before the 18th, you're getting a brand new iPhone. And if you bring 30, you're going to get a brand new MacBook. Awesome. Now, the third promotion, because we have the double up promotion, we have the prizes, and then we are giving away some flights and some hotels. So if you hit connector 1500, we're going to give you a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're having our very first event. And if you hit connector 3000, you're going to win an all-inclusive. So that's going to include the flight, the hotel, and then VIP access to the event. So it doesn't matter for any of the promotions. Even if there's 1,000 people that qualify, we're going to give away 1,000 prizes. So I really hope to see you all there. And for you to qualify for these awesome prizes, might as well. You're going to do it. So we're going to give you a little bit of juice to accomplish these goals. And if you're ready to, if you want to stay connected, go ahead and scan this QR code. We have Telegram, Facebook, Instagram. Those are probably the best bet right there. That way you can just stay in the loop with all things Divinfi. And with that being said, let me answer any questions that we might have incurred. Barbara, when can I invest? So I'll send you. So there's a couple of caveats. If you're in the US right now, we don't have a US solution. We're working to onboard Coinbase. Okay, so Coinbase will probably be the way that you'll be able to invest into and use Apollo. So you're gonna have to wait on that, but there is a solution because we always try to figure out a solution. And essentially what we've come up with is you could actually have a partner. Let's say you have someone that's outside of the US and you can be like, hey, I want to invest with you, and you guys can pool your money together and connect it to Apollo and just have Apollo start trading for you while you wait for the Coinbase solution. So that's an option. And then everywhere else is good to go. If you're in Canada, if you're in Europe, Australia, Asia, you're all good to go to get onboarded. The US is obviously just, there's a lot of regulations, the SEC. We just don't want to get in trouble, right? So, but we do have solutions. So any questions? Any other questions? Does that answer your question, Barbara?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, and if you need help to find someone, we can do a buddy program or something for the time being, or you can just wait. It's really up to you, but I would suggest finding someone that you trust, and you guys can pool your money together and have Apollo start running so you can share those results, because it's definitely a lot easier when you have your own results, for sure. Max, Tui, the paydays, please. So the way that that's going to work for the pay, Tui, and for everybody watching. So let's say today's Monday here in Philippines, but I think we're going off of I don't know if it's Dubai or Philippines, but basically 11:59, I believe Dubai, 11:59 p.m. is a cutoff date. So whatever you've done from Monday to Sunday, 11:59, you'll be able to make a withdrawal after 11:59. It's just, you just go into the back office and you just schedule a withdrawal, and it'll go to the bank account or the crypto account that you have put in place in the back office. So that's how it works. We were gonna pay out the weekly every week, but we added the weekly plus the direct bonuses, so you get paid for both of those every single week, which is awesome. The only one that gets paid out monthly is the rank bonuses, and then once we get some people hitting the global pools, that will be monthly. What does Connector 3000 look like? What do you mean by that, Marcos?
Exactly how many do you need directly sponsored on each leg? Like I
Oh,
guess you
gotcha.
said 10 on each, 20 on each, or
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just trying to get an idea of what Connected 3000 looks to get that all-inclusive trip.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So it's 2 on your right, 2 on your left that you personally refer, and then a total network of 75 on your left, 75 on your right. So it's 150 customers total. Out of those 150, you only need 2 on your left, 2 on your right.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
So 4 directs, but just build duplicate on down to 75 each leg. All right.
Yes, sir. And you already have a leg that's growing for you, so I'm gonna keep building that one leg, and then you just really have to focus on the other one, which is
I
awesome.
know, I've seen that. Oh, man, I'm pretty excited.
That's the
Yeah.
beauty of this binary. It's like you can, even if one person blows it up, then you really just have to build the other one. So Paul asks, once you achieve the rank, does it stay in place? It does stay in place, but the people have to continue to make their payments, right? It's based off of active memberships. So let's say you hit the first rank of inviter. You have 2 on your left or 2 on your right, and then 1 on the other leg. So that's a total of 3. So let's say it's your mom, your dad, and your brother. Your brother no longer pays for his memberships, so you're no longer an inviter. You need to find someone to replace him. So that's why it's really, really important to get people to do Don's program, because once they're in and they've done that program, they're basically all in for life. And then also having Apollo work for them if they're making money, even at the $1,000 a month, and they're earning, let's say, 10% a month. $1,000 doing 10% a month is $100 a month. That right there pays for their membership. So you want to make sure that people are using the products. So yeah, to answer your question.
My other question on that was, so once you achieve that level and everybody's paying their memberships, so you're covered that way. You've clarified that for me. What is there any way that all of a sudden you get ranked down because there's a change in how the operation works, or you've decided to flip it out in a certain way, or now the rankings all adjusted? What happens? Do we all? I mean,
No, so we're
is there
actually
any?
going to be. That's a good question, Paul. So we're actually putting the entire plan on the blockchain. So we basically have it set, and so the ranking's not going to change, especially once we have it on the blockchain. It's going to be set for life. So there's no way that you could lose your ranking.
Yeah, I'm still learning all this language, so yeah, I think I get it now. Yeah, good.
Trust me, I don't get it either. It's very interesting, but the more I'm learning, it's like, okay, it makes sense. Like the blockchain just really means like it's going to be on like a public ledger where it can never be changed or manipulated. So once it's set for life. So there's nobody can come in and completely just change the whole operations midway because they just feel like it.
Well, on the companies that I haven't been on too many of them, but some of them where I participated in, like inviting people and getting them interested and so on and so forth. After a number of years, all of a sudden the whole format changed,
Hmm.
and we were only told once we realized that the amount, what we thought we were earning was no longer forthcoming. So it all would change your rank and your position, and then they would all of a sudden start including new conditions as to how you need to sustain your rank. In this
Hmm.
case, using rank because you're using that terminology. So
Hmm.
however you sustain your rank. Otherwise, then you fall off. You sort of like you fall off that level, and then you're somewhere else. And
Yeah.
to me, it was a way of weeding out, but not being honest about your initial promises.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely can relate. It's happened to me as well. That's
Yeah.
why what we did from the very get-go is we actually hired some high-level consultants to basically look at the compensation plan, make sure that we could get the membership fee at the very lowest and pay out the most that we could from the very get-go, and without actually hurting the company and making sure that the company is afloat and that we can actually sustain everything. So we got that finalized from the very get-go. So there's not like all these abrupt changes and people are like, oh my God, I thought it was going to work this way, but now it's a completely different way and it's way harder and all this stuff. So nothing to
Yeah.
worry about. We already kind of thought about that because we're thinking about this from, a partner level, because you guys know that even though I'm an executive and Jamie's an executive, we're actually going to be stepping down and just getting rid of that. We're not even going to be doing that stuff. The way that we get paid is the same as you guys. So we are you and you are us. Like we're thinking about it from your level, and we want to make sure that it's a fair system for everyone.
Good, good, good. Very good.
That's great.
So it's very awesome that we finally have a home that we can actually sit and plant our flag and build without like worrying about what if it's going to be here or not. We're doing all of the things that we can to make sure that this is a legacy company that's going to be here for generations. Because it really isn't a business to us. It's more so an impact and how we can shift the world. And like me and Jamie were talking about this the other day. We were like talking about once it's all said and done and we've shifted humanity's consciousness, and then we were just thinking about like if Jesus or Buddha or Moses was like, how do you guys shift humanity's consciousness? We were like, well, do you ever think about putting a comp plan on it, turn it to network marketing?
Where did that idea come from? Holy crap.
Yeah. Oh man. It's exciting. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, it's fun. We're excited for everything that's happening. We're still in pre-launch, guys, so please bear with us. I know like the whole like not being in the US thing is a little bit of but there's ways around, right? Like we could talk about that some more, but even I was talking to Don, I'm like, yo, we could actually still keep this around, even if it was just Don's program. Even if there was no financial piece to it, Don's program is so powerful that it would be worth it just to have that one product alone. But we don't have only that. We also have Apollo, and we're developing our own AI. We're already looking at developers, so we have our own in-house AI. But really, we're just looking for the very best of the best products to just share with people, and as things unfold, we're gonna unload all of the best of the best, because the goal really is freedom. So we can do amazing stuff like Tui and I, we've talked about, going to Fiji and Tonga and all these different places and start to help people in different parts of the world. That's the whole essence of what we want to do. Whatever that looks like. So let's get the financial piece out of the way so we can start doing the things that really set our heart on fire. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm honored to be with you guys. It's always awesome. Do you have any more questions? And so the last thing I'll share, if we don't have any questions, make sure that all of the people that you've gotten enrolled are going to Don's program on Tuesday. I mean, everyone that's actually doing Don's program and really surrendering to that process is absolutely killing it. because it's gonna get you out of the fear, the false evidence appearing real, and start to step into your power. And it's like, okay, all I gotta do is just literally just show up. And now all of the right people are starting to come into my energy field. And like for example, like Tui's killing it, right? Like he's getting ready to hit connector 900. It's right around the corner. Max, he hit connector 200, or he's like right around the corner. Chris, he's helping many people rank up. He's never done network marketing in his life. I was surprised. Like Chris has never done network marketing ever. And it's no coincidence. He's done the program as well. He's helping people in the Philippines. I mean, the Philippines is one of the poorest countries in the world. I don't know if you guys know that. Like literally some of them are getting paid $60 a month. $60 a month. And these guys are figuring out ways to get started because they see the vision. So it's not a matter of money. It's really just a matter of paradigms, because whenever you're trying to enroll someone into the system, it's you against their paradigm. So the very best thing they can do is share Don's program to help them break free of whatever limitations that they have set on themselves. And then that way they can actually move forward in their infinite power. So make sure to get everybody on there. And just one last time, is there any more questions so we can make sure that you have all the info you need?
Yeah, I have one more. And I'd still like to talk to you, Sam, later, but anyhow, the one I have is based on getting in on Don's presentations. So you pay your qualification, or their $149,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a $99 a month expectation to be paid as part of your enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, those are the two figures that someone comes into, and then that would permit them to actually hone in on Don's presentation. Correct? Okay. Yeah. And again, I'll have to talk to you a little bit about that after. But yes, that was my question.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, like Paul just said, it's 149 for the first month and then $99 a month. You get access to Don's workshop or process, whatever you want to call it. And then you also get access to Apollo. And then you can start to share from a place of authenticity of like, hey, this is what it's done for me. This is my story. And then people want to be a part of it if they align, right? Like Megan, she's my friend. She got started. I mean, she's an absolute badass. I mean, she's built a smart trust, right? And she has her whole community of women entrepreneurs. She has about 1 million people in her Facebook group, and she's wanting to set up like a whole worldwide meditation to get people that are already aligned with the mission. And so it really is just doing the process yourself, and then you'll start to get these divine downloads of how you can start to attract the right people, whether it's with Don's process or Apollo or both or whatever the pay plan. So if you haven't done it in a while, I suggest doing it. That'll probably be the thing that you need, because I know I had given it up many times. Okay, it's really easy to give up. I gave it up many times. And on the fourth or the fifth time, I did one with Don in Dubai. And that was the one that actually just triggered everything. And things have just been popping off left and right. And so we'll see you on the next one. Tuesday is going to be for people that have never done it. And Thursday is for existing clients. So just make sure you're there. I do not speak Spanish, poquito, but Marcos, we have a Spanish presentation. And we have a guy that's in Mexico right now. He's actually translated for Don the process in Spanish. So we have some tools, and I know you speak Spanish, Marcos, so you could be the person that speaks Spanish and translates for Spanish markets. So Oh, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I have the presentation in Spanish. We'll send that over to you. Awesome.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, bro. All right, awesome. Well, it is 10:22. Any other questions? Don't want to take too much of your time.
Hey,
All
Sam,
right.
just want to let you know there definitely money are going into the back office. So that's good. There's definitely money going into back office.
Awesome, bro.
It's
Let's do
working.
it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's rock it, man.
Yeah, man. I'm super proud of you guys for showing up consistently. We're literally not even in launch mode, okay? So you guys that are on this call are literally the trailblazers. Like, just wait till you see what we're creating on the back office, like the new one. It's never been done. Like, literally never been done. And I've been a part of a lot of different builds, and I can confidently say that what we're creating has never been done from a business standpoint and then also from the consciousness standpoint. And so you guys are at the very forefront of this. And so trust me, when the big guys see it, you want to have your results because they're going to be going under you guys, right? They're going to be building under all the trailblazers here at Divinfi. So I'm proud of you guys. Let's continue to share the mission from our hearts, and we'll see all the right people come in. And we'll see you tonight at 11 p.m. Philippines time. So that's about 11 hours from now or so. That's 11 p.m. Philippines, 7 p.m. Dubai, 8 p.m. 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm living in so many different time zones. So, all right, guys. Infinite love. You guys have a great day or night, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.